I believe it was Socrates that once pondered, "Dude, where is my car?"
Welcome to Hypocritics, the web series review series. Today we're reviewing rom.com, the epitome of web series currently in existence.
Rom.com was produced by Cracked.com, the website that many of you will be aware of. It's known mostly for its articles, I believe. However, in the last few years they've started producing web television content.
They've actually been producing videos for many years. Many years. Rom.com is about a group of people who maintain a website called findlove.net, and it follows the adventures of Josie as she has to, for the first time, use the dating site to actually find a date. She is kind of like a puppy dog in human form. She's completely adorable, absolutely hilarious, overplays everything, but really fantastic results.
The characters are really well drawn. They're distinct without being, cliched to an unbearable extent, which a lot of shows do. A lot of web series especially are guilty of this. But these characters are vibrant, charismatic, and hilarious.
And they get so much done with them in a very short period of time.
Oh, absolutely.
They're really well rounded for 6 minutes of web series content per episode.
It is very cleverly scripted. It feels like it is coming from each of these people, rather than actors saying what they read on the page.
Every actor in this show, every character, is a well-rounded human being who you feel has a life before the show and will continue to have a life after the show.
Absolutely.
Which is one of the things I really loved about this show, because it stays with you once you finish watching it. It's the best way to describe
And it feels like a perfect slice of life, while at the same time being a fantastically structured web series in terms of individual shows and the show as a whole. And what you were saying about these people feeling really well-rounded, that's just a perfect marriage of a great script and a great cast with tremendous talent, directed really, really well. This is our first episode purely because this is the best. This is our benchmark. So we want to get everyone aware of this show first.
And then we'll judge all the rest of the web content that we view based on this show, basically.
And we also judge ourselves by this show. This is the benchmark that I use as a writer when I'm structuring my own shows.
I think the most important reason we begin the series, Hypocritics, by reviewing rom.com, is that we outline what it is that makes a web series different and distinct from a TV show or a movie. And with rom.com, what we see is a show that gets right to the point. It articulates its message in a very condensed and easily digestible form.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the other thing about the show which really makes it work, is the amount of freedom that the creators have. They're not trying to define themselves by another genre. They've really got a free slate, an open field to design whatever they like. They're not being told by somebody up in a big studio office that they need to do this and fill this much airspace, because, it's 6 minutes per episode, doesn't fill any airspace at all.
The structure of the episodes themselves is wonderful. It's clean, it's quick, there's no dead space in amongst anything. Everyone moves between the scenes seamlessly. The dialogue itself moves between the scenes seamlessly as well. But on top of that, the structure of the series as a whole, and that's the biggest thing as a writer if you're writing a series, and it's also the hardest thing, the whole picture is also wonderfully structured.
One of the things I thought was really interesting about this series is that you can see its lineage. You can see where the writers themselves have come from, and they've come from a background of, the articles and that format. And that influences the way they've written rom.com by shaping the form of the series into being about articulating an idea. And it's very different from what you'll get in a normal sitcom. We have them talking about things as though it were part of an article, in a way.
It's a very conversational tone. The entire series is very conversational, and that's a large part of Cracked's appeal.
As if they were sitting next to you.
Yeah,
but it also is full of the characters hypothesizing about their theories of the romance industry.
There isn't a mix-up in the writing where characters are battling for precedence over one another.
Which I think is one of the strengths of web series as a whole, is that you can really afford to just follow one person. And that's the hardest part for me when I'm writing something with larger scope is trying to find all these extra space, all this extra space for people. And my instinct is just, okay, who have we got, and do I need to see them walking from one scene to another? And all of a sudden I've got a 4-minute script instead of 12.
Or people just walking.
Yeah, it's the West Wing, really.
Yeah. So that's a strength of web series, again, bringing it back to this being the epitome. This is a studio now. Crack Studios is something they started at the beginning of last year, or the end of the year before that, I think. And hopefully this is the crest of a new wave in studios, small studios like what we do.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that, with film, there were the big film studios, and then there was independent cinema. And now we see that independent cinema getting kind of swallowed up by the big studios again, Fox Searchlight and so on. And it's harder to tell what exactly constitutes an indie film. Our generation is bringing about the movement of the web series, and that's where we have our creative freedom, and eventually I imagine that'll get swallowed up by corporations and studios.
So.
But
I mean,
lasts,
an ideal situation for us, at least, is we become the big studios. We're all starting on a level playing field, and it's all about luck and hard work and perfect timing to improve our standing, get bigger and bigger, and become the big studios and swallow up all the smaller ones.
And I'm glad you didn't say talent there, because whew.
So we have our own little individual rating systems that we'll explain in turn as we go down the list. But I'm going to start, and I generally follow 3 guidelines, which is the quality of the directing, which includes casting and editing and so on, the quality of the writing, which includes the writing, and then, of course, cinematography. Those are the 3 disciplines that I'm interested in. That doesn't mean that they're the staple ones that everyone else has to be interested in, but I tend to focus on those. I think the thing that sticks out the most about the writing is how clear-cut the characters are and how well developed they are in such a short space of time. I think the most important note about the directing this time around is that Adam Ganser just does a really good job of organizing all the disparate elements, such as the casting, the writing, and the cinematography, the editing, which is superb, into one element that feels like one show, as opposed to one show with different departments. So he does a good job of bringing everything together, but really he has all the ingredients that he needs. The cinematography, I quite enjoyed. It's not up to the standard of some of the things that, say, HBO is producing, but for now, for what it is, the cinematography is really, really competent. So I'm going to give it a full 15 out of 15 across the board, 5 out of 5 for each discipline. This show is superb, and I think it's going to be hard to find something to match it anytime soon.
Well said, eventually. My rating system is as simple as I can make it. 4 disciplines with a pass or fail on each one. The first one, casting and directing, definite pass. Writing, definite pass. Editing and cinematography, definite pass. The 4th and most important one, should you watch it? Absolutely. I've watched this series 5 or 6 times at least, and I plan on watching it several dozen times more.
My rating system is based on description rather than a numerical star rating or a pass-fail system, because I think the most important thing to me about in determining whether I watch a web series or not is generally how it feels, how it comes across. Whether it's good or bad, that's irrelevant to me, because as we've seen in some web series, a show can be bad on many levels, but ultimately be enjoyable and worthwhile. Rom.com is charismatic, it's colourful, it's vibrant, it's intelligently written, and well worth watching for anyone who's interested in what a good web series looks like and how it's made. But also, it's worthwhile to anyone who just enjoys anything.
If you enjoy being entertained, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you enjoy being entertained, Rom.com is the web series for you.
So there you have it. Pass across the board, theoretically, including from Jesse. We're going to put a link in the description below so you can watch a playlist of the stuff we've just reviewed. Thanks for watching. We're PVC Productions, and if you find a better web series review show, keep it to yourself.